Hey, what's going on, everyone? You've all heard of VI or Vim, one of the most famous text editors out there. And regardless of what you actually use to develop software in or write your configuration files in locally on your laptop, it's really, really good to know the basics of VI and Vim so that when you're on a remote machine, like a server running some service, and you're going to edit some configuration files to test something or do something on that server, Sublime Text, Atom, even Emacs probably is not going to be on there. So you'll need to know at least the basics of Vim so that you have a basic editing skills on a remote machine in a command line only environment. Basically everything I'm going to show you is going to work in VI and Vim, but they are different things. You can read up on that. Okay, so let's jump in. The very first thing we're going to do is edit a file. I've got a Terraform file here that's setting up some infrastructure, and we're just going to kind of play around. The very first thing you'll notice is that if I were to type right now, nothing would really happen because we're in command mode, and that's a good thing because a lot of people get into Vim and then can't get out, which means I can now show you how to quit Vim. You type in :Q. And as soon as you hit enter, you are going to leave the program. There's an old joke, sysadmin joke, how do you create a secure password? Stick a noob into a terminal running Vim and ask them to quit. You'll get like a long string of random characters, swear words, and just about everything else you can imagine. But they will not be able to quit the program. Well, now you can. So :Q, enter, and you're done. Okay, that's definitely the most important thing. If you made some changes, I'll show you a few other commands. Write, if I hit enter now, it'll just write the current state to the file. If I write and quit, it's basically the save and exit. If I want to quit without saving any changes, I can say quit, and the bang or the exclamation mark gets me out of there without saving. Okay, but we don't want to do that. We actually want to edit some stuff. When people say Vim is a modal editor, what they mean is it's got modes. The mode that it dumps you into when you first open a file is command mode. And as you saw, you can set some commands. Like you can write set number. This is a source code file, and that command turns on line numbering. Maybe that's useful to you. Great. However, if I want to insert text, I have to go into a different mode. And the way that I do that is by hitting I to go into insert mode. Now you can type stuff. Isn't that lovely? Now if I want to run commands again, I hit escape, and escape switches me back to command mode. So command mode is your safe place. If you can quit from here, :Q, and you can go into insert mode to, write stuff, then you can pretty much do everything that you can do in a normal editor, although you're probably going to be really slow and terrible at it right now. So if we go back to command mode by hitting escape, I'll show you how to delete some lines. DD, delete a line. Everybody's got to know how to do it. DD, from command mode, so if you're not sure, just hit escape and you'll be in command mode. If you hit DD, you will delete a line. There are variations on this, which I will show you, and again, this is a rabbit hole I'm not going to go into. If you put a number before a command like DD, it will try to do that command that number of times. So if I want to delete the image, the name, and the region here, if I type in 3DD, it's going to delete 3 lines. Pretty effing sweet, huh? Let's talk about how to undo the damage that you will invariably do on your first couple trips in Vim. Again, you're in command mode, so if you were inserting or something, hit escape. That'll get you out. And then what you want to do is hit U, and that will undo your last action. You can keep hitting U, another U, and that'll undo again. If you want to redo something like we just went too far, we want to delete these 2 lines, just hit ctrl-r. That will redo actions. That looks about right. That's where we want to be. So U to undo, ctrl-r to redo. The way that I like to remember it is ctrl-r is like searching through your shell history, right? If you want to find commands you've run before, well, this is finding actions you've done before, basically, that you've undone. So U and ctrl-r. Let's talk about searching. I want to find provisioners. So I'm going to type in, again, from command mode, I'm going to type in a /, and then I'm going to type in my search string, and it'll be provisioner. You can see it's automatically highlighting the first match. When you hit enter, it's going to take your cursor to the first character of the first match, and you can go to the next one with a lowercase n. You can see you can kind of go down the file, look at all the provisioners. Uppercase n, so really just shift n, will search backwards. You can see search hit top, it'll wrap at the bottom. So that's a simple search. The workflow for actually like editing one of these. So my cursor's in the right place now. Now I can hit I, and now I'm writing stuff here. And that's useful for kind of getting around, right? If you need to get to some weird place like HA proxy, well, I can just hit that and then you can do stuff here. That was me hitting I, typing this. Now I'm hitting escape. Now I'm hitting U to undo that. That makes sense? You're starting to see, hopefully, how fast you can become by just knowing some of these basic keyboard shortcuts and using them to maneuver around instead of the arrow keys, which do work. I'm not going to get into other navigation, other ways of navigating. You don't need it for right now. The last thing I want to show you, the kind of last obvious editor feature, is a search and replace. You want to search and replace something. So make sure, again, that you're in command mode. You're going to be hitting escape a lot as a noob, so don't worry about it. In command mode, you're going to write a colon. Hey, there's a command coming. %s. And this part's kind of like the search. You put in the pattern that you want to replace. In our case, it's provisioner. And we're going to put another slash and then whatever we want to replace it with. In our case, of course, provisioner, obviously. We're going to be greedy. So if we didn't have this G, it would only replace the first occurrence. So we're going to be greedy, replace them all, and auto confirm. So just go ahead and do it. I'm sorry. The C asks for confirmation. Totally misspoke. So yes, we're going to replace the first one. Yes, we're going to replace the second one. Yes, we're going to replace the third one. Lovely. If we wanted that to happen automatically, like we're super, super sure that that's what we want, we'll remove the C and we'll just be greedy, and that will greedily, without asking us, change all these. So as soon as you hit enter, it'll go through the whole file, beginning to end, and change all the strings that match. There's all kinds of stuff here like that I'm not covering. You can do tremendous, amazing, high-speed, super efficient things with Vim, and that's wonderful, and you will discover that. But now you have the basic skills that you need to start editing. So regardless of which editor you use to write your symphony of code, when it's time to go into some remote Unix system and work just on the command line and change some stuff in a file, VI or Vim, that's the tool you're probably going to be using. So it really, really, really pays to know these very basic kind of patterns of using it. It doesn't mean you have to use this full time or as your main editor, but you absolutely can if you would like to. So there you go. I hope that's been useful. Again, people that know Vim are probably going to like watch this video and be frustrated because I'm barely scratching the surface, and almost every one of the things I've showed you is actually a rabbit hole that can be this beautiful flower that unfolds as you get into it and you realize, oh my god, they can do so much more. Like searching can be so much better. You know, like repeating commands with like the delete line, 5DD. That's only the beginning of what you can do with that stuff. However, you got to start somewhere, and as a beginner, it's important to kind of contain the scope of what you're learning, to not get overwhelmed, and that is the goal of this video. So do the things that we just talked about, practice right now in a file until you're comfortable with it, and then you'll develop that muscle memory, you'll start using it, and yeah. So let's, you know what, I'm not going to save these changes. I don't think I need provisioners accidentally getting committed next time I do a push on this project. All right, subscribe if you want more stuff like this. Thumbs up, thumbs down, I don't know. I don't really care. I hope that's useful. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.